Okay, I'm outside Smith's. It's Sunday morning. Today is day 3 of this 5-part video series. Now, I usually check out of Airbnb on Sunday, play the Bally's free roll, see if I could check in. If I can, go to the supermarket, get food, go back. I'm gonna try to save a trip right now. It's about an hour before the free roll. I'm gonna fill my cooler with ice, get food now, and it'll last till when I check in, whenever that is. So let's see if I can pull that off. Oh, and you can tell from the title, but day 3, I'm talking about game selection today. Alright, free roll going on behind me. Made it to first break even though I haven't won a hand. I did hit top pair and then got check raised by a guy who's like 127 years old, so I had to fold it. I got 3 blinds, which is actually plenty of fold equity, but I do need to get some folds or pick up a hand. But back to game selection. On a large scale, what city you're playing poker in? I didn't have a choice. I started playing when I lived in Madison, Wisconsin, so the casino was in Milwaukee. I moved to Vegas. It was one of the few places I could get a room without you know, having an on-the-books job. And then I went to law school. But summers of law school, that was huge. Selecting what city I was going to play poker. I had heard great things about MGM National Harbor and WinStar, so summer 2018, went to MGM National Harbor. I played like 12-hour days my first week without even trying. And then I hit my first 300-hour month, which I think was the most money I've ever made in a month. So it was a good decision. I got to pick for the summer between semesters of law school. I went to Oxon Hill, Maryland. Next summer, I went to AC for half of it, and I had heard great things about WinStar, so I went to WinStar for the second half. I played like 9 hours and 54 minutes per day for 26 days straight. The games were so good, I didn't need to focus on like hitting 10 hours a day. It just happened because games were amazing and they were going all night. So I got to pick what cities, and when I did, I made some good choices. This summer, I wasn't playing Vegas during the series. I've done it 3 times, didn't like it any of the 3 times, and I went to Council Bluffs. And it's funny, there's a guy in the free roll on my left. He's from Omaha, he plays in Council Bluffs. But that was a great decision. I make like $4 an hour in Vegas during the series, and I made a lot more than that in Council Bluffs this summer. A lot of stuff this time. Min-cash the tournament, which I'm fine with for not winning any hands post-flop. In addition to deciding what city you're going to play poker, sometimes in the same city you have a choice of casinos. Of course out here in Vegas, but even in the Northeast. When I was in Maryland in autumn 2020, there was Maryland Live in Hanover, and like 10 miles away, the Horseshoe Baltimore. About halfway through my time there, I sensed how much more I was making at the Horseshoe Baltimore, and I gave it a chance a lot more often. Same thing in summer 2019, first half of the summer was Atlantic City. There's Harrah's Atlantic City and Borgata. Very easy when you have a room at Borgata to just play Borgata and not even walk, not that it's that far, but not walk to Harrah's and check it out. Same thing, I sensed how much more I was making, and it made a lot of sense to give Harrah's a chance every night. Not to force it, but to at least go there and see what was going on every night, because I knew my hourly was way higher in Harrah's than it was in Borgata. I had a request after that video on the road where I found the shack to do a video underwater. Don't think I could pull that off just yet, so in front of the ice machine is the closest I'll get. So I talked about what city you want to play, and then within the same city, if you have more than one choice, what about when you're in a room for the night? What are you looking for when you table change? I think a lot of people get this wrong. They look for the absolute wildest game possible. That could be your best bet. I think a lot of people overestimate their skills in a game like that. Barry Greenstein in high stakes poker overestimated his skills in a lineup like that and got destroyed in 2 hands by Durr. So I don't think that's a lot of people's best game. If we go on a 0 to 10 scale, 0 is all chops, 10 is the wildest thing you've ever seen. I'm usually looking for like a 7.5 to an 8. And I think my skills work best in that amount of wild and aggressive. And things to think about in deciding that: what are you best at? What are you worst at? The things you're best at, does that sync with your player pool's weaknesses? And the things you're worst at, do the other players in your player pool, are they poor at exploiting you? And for me, my best setup was probably Milwaukee. The things in poker that I was just naturally good at, I was able to exploit those players a ton. And the things I was bad at, where I could have been exploited, that player pool just didn't. The things they were good at didn't really match with taking advantage of my play. I got away with some things other players wouldn't let me get away with. So Wisconsin was a really good player pool for me to play against. Thankful that was the first place I played my first 600 hours or so. So game selection is not only one of my best things, I think I'm one of the best there is at knowing who and where I should be playing against to maximize my skills and my profits.